This is the race committee. The wind sampling period is now complete, and this race is live.
Happy days for race one of the Louis Vuitton Cup. We have got enough wind to get going, so now we get ready for that thing we like to call the dance. The pre-start and the start box. Coming in from port, not allowed in before 2 minutes and 10 seconds, will be Orient Express Racing. And then on starboard, it will be Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Not allowed in before the 2-minute mark. This is where it gets serious, and this is where everything now ramps up.
You're looking good here for an on-time entry for both teams.
Orange Express are in, and now in comes Alinghi Red Bull Racing. How aggressive are they going to be?
All going to be about staying on the foils here in this pre-start. Absolutely critical to keep the boat going fast, you know, 35, 40 knots. The faster you go, the more airflow you have around the sail, so it's really important to keep the boat going fast here, Shirley.
Too risky to be aggressive, don't you think? I mean, just really keep it simple. Pick your moment to jibe back around, and we can see them using the whole length of the box there.
Yep, the dirty air coming off the sails of the boat there. You have to be really careful not to sail back through that dirty air if you can avoid it. Even sailing back to your own dirty air, big penalty.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing choosing to lead back to that start line.
Inside the last 60 seconds of the opening race.
Ok, t'es loqué. Ouais, tu peux pousser un dernier. 2 tours pile.
Aggressive maneuver by Orient Express Racing.
No overlap, happy to stand. 5. Okay, they're going up again. Okay, late pin. 4. Close to pin line.
30 seconds and counting.
3. Leo close with tack, okay? 3. A bit. Okay, 2, 5. 1, 5. Till the line. 2. 4.
I'm on distance here.
Down, 15. And goes. Low exit, max. Open for the committee. Open. 10. And 4 up. 9. 8. 7. 6. Racing. 5. Passion. 4. 3. 2. 1.
It's a go. We are racing in race one of the Louis Vuitton Cup, and now it's the point of no return for all 5 challengers. Who's got the fastest boat? Who will challenge Emirates Team New Zealand? It's a long way to go, and it starts now.
What a great start by both boats. I did not expect France to be so aggressive. They pushed Alinghi all the way back.
Super, super great job. Orient Express Racing team there, right on the line, at speed, leading the race now by close to 70 metres.
Let's go on to chase 0. Peter Lester, your thoughts on that start by both?
Well, split tack start. What a way to start the 37th Louis Vuitton Cup, and great job by Orient. Now, the other thing I've seen here, they're on different size jibs. It looks like Orient are on a J2, slightly smaller, shorter in the hoist than Alinghi, who've got a full hoist jib on, so I guess they're on a 1. So that we'll just see how that plays out. I guess there's less aero drag on the smaller jib.
Fantastic tack there by both boats in these light air conditions, and the lead now extending out to 150 metres. Covering tack there by Orient Express Racing, putting Alinghi on the back foot, having to tack away and keep their air clear in these light air conditions.
I think Orient Express think they're fast in these conditions, that they're slippy. I mean, they certainly don't look short of power.
We're still on starboard. That's a lefty for us. Right, down to the right. Header here. Big right C. 24 to Henry. Big fast. Are attacking back. 80 to Henry.
All about staying on the foils again. We've obviously got enough breeze to start the race, but there is puffs and lulls, so really critical for the teams to make sure they manoeuvre in pressure if they can.
Well, this is great. You can see with the green steering wheel logo, it is Arno Sarafagis at the top. That means he is in control. He is driving. It's his turn.
Coming back. Average breeze here.
We could hear it in the comms before the start that the teams were, that they liked the left-hand side. Perhaps the breeze was just rolling in from that side. And Orient Express have done well to execute a plan.
Left back is favored at the top. On the
Yeah,
right
they're
here,
protecting the left there and really forcing Alinghi over to that right-hand side of the course by tapping on them, extending their lead all the time. So sailing the boat really well. You can see Alinghi Red Bull Racing there. They will be right in the dirty air there of Orient Express Racing. So difficult to pull off manoeuvres in slight air, and Orient Express Racing doing a brilliant job of sailing the boat cleanly.
Orient Express Racing are in the lead of race 1 of the Louis Vuitton Cup. Everybody has been waiting to see this boat and this team sail what they like to call sail efficiently, and how dangerous they can be to the rest of this fleet, the other 4 challengers. Well, early in this race, and very early, they're making a wee statement. We can fly this boat beautifully. And in come Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They were aggressive at the start in the preliminary regatta against Emirates Team New Zealand, and they've been outfoxed. It was just simply the wind. What a start by Orient Express.
A fantastic start there by Orient Express Racing, obviously wanting the left and really pushing Alinghi hard to force them to be early. Really their only option was to tack away there to the right, and a great start there by Orient Express Racing to own the left.
And 4 down.
We have not seen any of the teams in this light breeze, so it's unknown for everybody. It's unknown for them, and it's unknown for us. And if you're Orient Express, you're going to take a lot of confidence from this. Obviously, they've got the same package as Emirates Team New Zealand. They're extending.
Let's go to chase 0. Peters, what is the wind doing from where you're at?
Looking down the track, looking down the course, the right-hand side looks a bit more pressure, and that's where both boats are heading now. Orient just waited to do their jibe. They had a little bit of a small touchdown, and I think that's just delayed probably by about 4 or 5 lengths their optimum place to jibe, but they just waited, they played the game, got the boat back on the foils now, and they're looking comfortable. Orient look pacey to me.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing, they've got a really good puff of breeze, and we just saw them. Look at them closing the gap, coming down. Way better VMG than Orient Express.
A really big launch in that puff downwind for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. These manoeuvres super critical to get right, as we've seen. One wobble. Voice from the cyclers there. From France. Looking at the pumps.
The lighter the breeze, the harder it is for the cyclers. And what a great view here. We can see the mainsail and the Traveller just moving up and down. And it's the cyclers that are driving that.
They'll be using all the tools in the toolbox to power those big twin skin mainsails up, and in the jib as well. You can see the depth of the main there, huge mast rotation, big camber, and ripping downwind there, 34 knots in about 7 knots of breeze. So fantastic performance.
Almost identical wind speeds on the first downwind leg of race 1 in the Louis Vuitton Cup. We have a race.
Yeah, big gains, pressure related to Alinghi Red Bull Racing there, I think. Both these next jibes super critical.
Lining up for one jibe and into the right-hand mark, looking down the course. Protecting, I mean, I would think that they would protect that left-hand side. It served them well on the last upwind.
Yeah, looking at, you know, the LiDAR that we saw from the previous leg, and even that downwind, they've sailed out the front of that breeze, they'll be around the bottom mark, and they'll be back up into that breeze again.
Orient Express Racing continue to lead Alinghi Red Bull Racing in race 1 of the Louis Vuitton Cup. Alinghi Red Bull Racing made some gains on the downward leg. As Orient Express go around that mark, followed in much closer now by Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Decision time for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Shirley, what do? Do you go to the pressure and stay in dirty air, or do you tack away and clear your air? Big decision time here for these guys.
Nice tack there by Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Really hard in these conditions, isn't it? And so risky. One mistake.
Both boats there dropping down to almost 20 knots of boat speed. Really tricky conditions.
Let's go on board the chase boat for Orient Express Racing. Thierry Douillard is the coach and join us. Thierry, what a start. What a way to start the Louis Vuitton Cup.
Yeah, it was really tricky with all the delay we had. Quite not easy to stick to our routing to the pre-start entry, but they managed pretty well. As you say, that is the first one for us, and it was a good push. The goal was to really push them on the start, and we had the side that we want on the course, so keep going.
Still a way to go. How nervous are you?
More nervous than the guy on the boat, for sure, I can tell you.
Merci, thanks for your time, buddy.
Orient Express Racing just protecting that left-hand side again as we head upwind here. Lead extending all the time. Look like they've just got a little more pace in that more breeze there as they head out to the left-hand side. So there is a bit more pressure coming down from the top end of the course from what we're seeing. So definitely not over.
Orient Express making good gains here. I mean, 100 metres since the bottom of the course, but hard to know really if that is boat speed. So hard when you're behind and it's light, you know, you're sailing in bad air, you're going not the optimum way. So hard to know.
Definitely snakes and ladders here with pressure related. So I think that gain to Orient Express Racing, they're largely pressure related. That little bit more breeze out that left-hand side of the course, and we've seen a little gain to them.
Let's be honest, we haven't seen this team race so efficiently all through the preliminary regatta. They were bedeviled by some technicals. They made mistakes. The work they have done in 4 days, it's almost like they picked up the piece of gold and said, oh, actually, it works.
The learning curve, very, very steep for Orient Express Racing, but the whole team have done a brilliant job in climbing that ladder as fast as they possibly can, and hopefully they can hold it together.
Let's go to the water with Pete and Chase Zero. Pete, what you got?
Yeah, the left's strong. I think there's just more pressure on that left-hand side, and Orient have really capitalised on that. It'll just be interesting to see how they handle this top mark approach and exit. Last time up here, they delayed their jibe, and that meant that Alinghi could jibe on the inside, and they made big gains, especially about halfway down. So it'll be interesting to see how Orient just course manage this top mark rounding.
All the pressure now on Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They will have gone into this opening race as minor favourites, not expecting what they're getting from Orient Express Racing.
so much adjustment on the sails, constantly moving that traveller. And a great shot there, the depth of the mainsail. Looks like a normal sailboat mainsail.
Incredible range of power available here for the teams.
Orient Express Racing up to the top gate to complete the halfway mark in race 1 of the Louis Vuitton Cup. And they are sailing their boat confidently.
Really nice, smooth, clean comms there. Big righty there for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. You can see the track there that they've sailed. Very shifty, puffy conditions, and not easy to sail the boats well in this light air.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing, the team now under all the pressure coming into their top gate, and as you see it on your screen, heading towards that right-hand mark and completing halfway of race number 1.
If either team make a mistake in any of their manoeuvres or come off the foils here, even with that lead that Orient Express Racing have now, if they do not execute well and they come off the foils here, Alinghi will be past them in about 10 or 15 seconds. So absolutely critical to be sailing the boats well here. And you've got to push, you've got to sail the boat high, you've got to push hard, but the manoeuvre is very difficult in this line.
We've got a head-to-head graphic here, and France have a higher average speed, which is what we suspected, and have sailed further. You've got to be happy if you're Orient Express. I mean, they pretty much thought they had a fast boat. They just needed to learn how to sail it, and today they are demonstrating that.
This manoeuvre just so critical. You can see the glide and the coast of the boats there. Getting that board out, keeping the boat clean. Little touchdown there, but they're safe. Boat speed at 30 knots, so we're back up and going, but super critical to execute those manoeuvres well. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, a nice clean job for them, so.
It must be so nerve-wracking. You're sailing towards the boundary, you have to jibe, and it's marginal. You must really hold your breath.
On prendra pas de risque sur la line. Pas copie. Allez mec, on s'accroche. Je suis pas mal barré, Matt. Ouais, faites pas trop conso. Un gros droit ici. Avec de l'air. Putain, la
around 7 knots of wind speed there, and boat speed's 37. It sort of defies logic, but that's just the efficiency of these AC 75 class yachts.
Very calm on board Orient Express today. Really composed.
Fantastic picture there of that jibe off the water. Just got to keep the boat sailing nicely there. Looks like they've executed the jibe. Orient Express Racing. Big job for the cycles now to recharge the hydraulic system for the roundup.
Orient Express Racing.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course length to 1.35 nautical miles.
The French team continue to lead. They'll head up on leg number 5, only 2 to go in this opening race of the Louis Vuitton Cup. I don't think anybody except maybe Orient Express Racing saw this performance coming.
Sailing the boat really well here. Just got to keep it together. Very puffy and shifty there. The gains we've seen have been largely going the right way and breeze related, so just need to keep it together. And Alinghi Red Bull Racing will be hoping for a mistake by the French team to get back in the race.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing, 2-time America's Cup winners, back in the game. And round the bottom mark, heading up for leg number 5. Look at that delta, 33 seconds.
Nice line in 20. Agree. Continue.
Both boats very powered up on the sail plan. Shirley, like really bending a lot of their air to create the power needed to suck the boats forward. They're actually getting pulled forward by the aero forces there, not blown along, they're actually getting pulled along.
One down.
Massive developments in aero in all the boats, but particularly Alinghi Red Bull Racing, really, and also Ineos Britannia, both working with Formula One teams. And you can see the influence, can't you, on the design?
Pressure pretty even for me here.
Still protecting that left-hand side of the course there. Orient Express Racing just staying in between their opponent and the favoured side of the course.
But very nice line compared to them.
Yeah, the aerodynamic efficiency of the hulls as well as the rigs just so important. All the modelling of the rigs and the hulls are all connected together, so it's not just development of the sails, it's the whole hull, sail, rig package that ultimately gives you that aerodynamic performance and efficiency.
Let's go to chase zero. Peter, what do you make of this performance by Orient Express Racing with about a leg and a half to go?
Oh, I like the way they course managed that from that top mark. That time they didn't go too far over to the right. And before they jibed Orient to come across, they didn't actually open up the runway for Alinghi to roll them down on that downwind leg. Now they're just protecting the left-hand side. The left's stronger. I think there might be as much as maybe a knot more pressure on that left-hand side. And what that equates to with the performance of these boats is around just wind direction-wise, about a 5-degree wind shift to the left as well. With the increase of pressure, these boats are so efficient they can sail closer to the wind. So impressive performance by Orient. Alinghi had that shot on the first downwind, but they haven't been given anything in this race. It's a good performance by the French.
Great shot of Quentin Della Pierre. I mean, this unit that we're looking at, they raced together on Sail GP and are really successful. You know, they are good, solid performers. And I've just really been waiting, haven't they? They know they've got a fast boat. They know how to race. It's just marrying the two together. It's not always straightforward.
Those communications, as we saw on that previous VT, the twin helmsman controlling the boat from both sides, having to change over the control of the yacht, exiting the manoeuvre, swapping control. Really nice tack there. Both boats actually on very similar jibs, sail area very similar there. I think both boats would actually call, even though that the Orient Express Racing have a square top on their jib, that is actually their J1. It does look a bit J2-ish. I can easily see where Peter thought that was on their J2, square head versus pin head.
Orient Express Racing heading towards the top mark, top gate for the final time. And they've squeezed an extra 100 odd metres on Alinghi Red Bull Racing on that upwind leg. One final rounding and then they're heading home.
par rapport aux
38 knots of boat speed there on exit. Very right-hand breeze for me at the moment, looking at Alinghi Red Bull Racing and the exit angle there of Orient Express Racing. So very big right shift there on the water at the moment.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing making their way to the top gate for the final time in this opening race of the 2024 Louis Vuitton Cup. Who will be the challenger to face off against Emirates Team New Zealand? All of the teams think they will be the one.
110, 120. Take fast. Have more pressure on the other side.
Quite soft here. Happy to do. 8, 3, 2, 1. Hold down. Close. 5, 1.
I mean, the heroes of today really are the trimmers. We're looking at Brian Montreux and Nicolas Rolla. I mean, doing an extraordinary job. It is so hard in these conditions to keep the wheels on.
It is, and you know, the foil control on these boats, you know, the flaps of the main foils doing all the lifting work, if you like, on the front of the boat, and flying the boat accurately, not only in the windy conditions, but using the flap range correctly in these light airs. You can really put the handbrake on if you do a bad job of trimming the boat. So very critical manoeuvre coming up here for the French. This will be one that they'll be wanting to execute cleanly.
What do we think the bottom safe boat speed is for a jibe and for attack?
Yeah, I think really anything sort of less than 20 knots, you're starting to get close to the stall speed of the foils, and can even actually get, you know, low speed cavitation or leading edge cavitation on the foils. So really wanting to do everything you can to keep that boat speed above the 20 knot mark, although you can take off in slightly less speed than that.
If the French can keep this lead, this is a massive race for them. I mean, sitting in the press conference yesterday, they're nearly written off. It was expected that they would not do well, and here they are. Look at us. We got a fast boat and we know what to do with it.
Quentin Delapierre, to add to that, Shirley quite simply said, we want to win races. Well, guess what? They're on track to win the opening race of the Louis Vuitton Cup. Many dreams do come true.
His final jibe, the most critical one probably of the whole race. And they look like they've pulled it off there, boat speed increasing from 30 knots up. You can hear the cyclors there, cracking the whip on their mates on the other side.
Orient Express Racing were the last team to receive their boat. They've been a development profile that has been near vertical, and they've just thrown their first punch in the Louis Vuitton Cup. They win race 1 of the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series. LA, 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 the French fans will be going. That's what it means.
That's super cool. That's a great result for the team.
Coming home is Alinghi Red Bull Racing, and it's all for naught. You don't get a point for finishing second here. It is brutal. Orient Express Racing get the 1 point. Alinghi Red Bull Racing come up